So, have you ever heard about the butterfly effect? Basically, there's a theory out there that powerful people, whether it's the government, the Illuminatis, or whoever, is trying to erase events of the past or our experience of these events of the past by erasing any evidence that it even exists in the first place, right? And the only way we know it exists because we remember seeing it, right? But if you give it enough time and we have no way to prove or recollect it, we just let it go and act like it never existed. Or for those who demand, like, yeah, or try to prove that it does exist, they'll be deemed as crazy. And it leads me to this argument. There's a lot of black men out there who are now successful in their lives, who date outside their race, who are gaslit to believe that they they didn't have to leave the black race to find love because black women always wanted them. And these, I'm talking about black male nerds, like people who like of the millennial age, like Michael B. Jordan, Charles Gambino, Jonathan Majors, whatever, right? Right. These guys who were in high school that was into nerdy stuff like anime, cosplay, all that stuff of the millennial age. I'm talking like people went to like high school in like 2008 or 2004, whatever, right? And older, right? And now, because now we have a large explosion of black females or who was now into nerd culture, and Gen Z and lower can experience their mate. So the argument that we had is that when we were growing up, that the girls was not checking for us, black girls. And it's only girls who are outside of our race that give us opportunity when we're growing up in high school, right? And somebody will argue to us like, oh, there's a lot of black nerd girls out there. You could have found one of them. And we made the argument is that these black male nerd girls, that girls that's into nerdy culture, they like the thugs as well. They first go for the thugs. They didn't check for us, or they prefer men outside their race, especially Asian men. Like now we have the K-pop phenomenon. Or we have girls that will have a full-blown relationship with somebody like Sasuke Uchiha, with somebody who's completely made up. And when we try to argue it, people try to gaslight us to say, oh, you just wasn't looking hard enough. Like, we need to move out of the country and find a black girl to match our energy. And we argue that they didn't exist unless the girl was like about 150 pounds heavier than us. So we didn't find our acceptable mate, right? And as time goes on and we have the generation before us have children, that's just now Gen Z, in their 20s or like 18 above, of course, 18 above, 18 to 27, that's now, like 18 to 29, that's now heavily into nerd culture, where there's cosplay, anime, Star Wars, whatever. Because those guys who had children, you know, especially when they're mixed race black women, they raised them and gave them like knowledge of their experience. Like, okay, I like Star Wars, so my daughter's gonna like Star Wars. Like, I'm gonna teach my daughter about what I like. I like Dragon Ball Z, so my daughter, I'm gonna teach her about wrestling and such and such. So no, now those girls are growing up and they're like mixed race black girls, like light skinned black, half Asian, but they're black girls, right? And some of them are just pure black girls, you know. Those girls grew up and they're into nerd culture. Now, since we have that demographic now, black women as a whole is trying to act as if we truly never experienced that, or gaslight us that we didn't try hard enough. Like when the whole thing happened with Michael B. Jordan on the thing when she said, when he's like, oh, I remember you called me nerd, right? And she's like, no, that never existed. And then black women all over social media want to come for Michael B. Jordan as if he completely made it up, or he's completely wrong, or just let it go, right? And they don't understand, after years of being shunned by our community, we're going to go where we're accepted, where we're celebrated and not tolerated. And I've seen a lot of black guys out here try to prove like, yo, this is what we experience, this is what we experience, this is what we see. And, you know, and And basically, the whole pro-black thing started coming to effect after 2008 when Obama became president, where the whole nation became pro-black. And in the 2010s and above, when after Marvel came out, then it becomes socially acceptable to be a nerd. Cosplay and all that stuff with social media becomes celebrated. And now, but the millennial generation and older man, black man, had that big of a stain, that large gap of stain in their that they experience, that they can they you know what I mean, they feel like, okay, they have to find for them truly to not find a girl who was just settling for them for who they are as nerds, or a girl who isn't what we call a leftover, right? A girl who's like, after she have 2 kids, now she want him, or after he becomes successful, now she want him. A girl who he feels are gonna like him for him, he have to date outside of his race, right? He and nobody wants to be somebody's last option. You understand? Whether it's black woman or whoever, no woman want to be. And we're trying to make this case. We try to prove it that, yeah, these girls who are black nerds, the one that we really, really, really want, if they wasn't messing with the thugs, they have racial like they really want to date outside of their race, but they would give the hood dude chance A, the guys who are Asian and white chance B, and then fictional characters like Sasuke Uchiha or Gojo or whoever chance C. And then they give us the chance when after everything's done and they done got washed out, even to use the toy and pump themselves out to sleep and dig out them all with a tie until they're done pretending that some of them will even marry fake characters. Or matter of fact, we're not chance D. Chance A is the black thugs. Chance B is the guys outside the race. Chance C is the fictional character. Chance D's are the woman. Chance E is themselves. Some of them marry themselves, and then chance F, after they realize like, oh, I need some help paying these bills or taking care of these kids, is us, the nerdy black guys. The guys, not talking about no he have swag. No, I'm talking about like truly guys who geek out on a day, like, because in general they really don't desire us, because it's okay. That's okay, because we can't coexist with something that just not really our zen, but we think it's our zen because they watch anime. No, that's not what it is. Yin need yang and life balance. So what they were gaslighting that doesn't exist. And I remember something like that was happening, and I remember seeing these women jump on it. And it's most prevalent where during, to me, the whole Drake Kendrick Lamar beef, right? When they had the They Not Like Us thing. And I remember there was like a group of set of black girls who made an argument that Drake shouldn't be considered black, or he shouldn't consider be able to say the N-word. And that's why I was so against Kendrick Lamar, what he did. Because these girls, before Kendrick Lamar had the beef, was trying to, their theory is not about just Drake, about J. Cole and everybody, that any black man with a black father and a non-black mother shouldn't be considered black. I know that's considered madness, right? So that erased Harry Belafonte and a plethora of black men who were born with non-black mothers, right? So keep it in mind, if that black man has a black mother and a white father or Asian father, it's all good. But if you, and it's only for men, that's what they deem. So if you're a mixed race black woman with like Zendaya, they're not going to disown you. You're not going to be disowned, but you shouldn't be disowned by the black race because you're a woman and you're part of this liberal mindset kind of, you know what I mean? But if you were a black man like Drake or J. Cole and you have a white mother, then you understand the nonsense, then you're not black. That's what they believe, not me. Let's keep the video in context. And I found one, I think her name, I found one on social media, and she was going in. Right now, I checked her because I couldn't find her page for years until now. She was making so much videos, and I'm pretty sure she probably took them down. Talking about this thing like, oh, Drake isn't black because and she made this big bold statement that any man, black man with a non-black mother is not black, and like basically start spewing some violent thoughts out there for somebody she never know, that never said anything bad about her, black woman or anything, right? And I found her page. Her name is Society Joker. I found her page because I thought she was fine. I'm like, fine. Thought she was beautiful because I thought, okay, there's a Jamaican girl that's into cosplay like me. She's gorgeous, and you know what I mean. She's into like nerdy shows and this and that. Let me see what she's about. When I saw it, I had such a shock. Like, oh my gosh, she's crazy, right? She's crazy. That shit crazy, and to see that this is a thing, and you know what I mean, it kind of blew my mind. Then time goes on, and I couldn't find the page again. All evidence of that page was gone. I never seen it. Like it got removed from my algorithm until today when I found the page again, and I'm like, oh snap! So yes, I found her. Now I know she exists, and she basically had 80,000 followers. So 80, and I'm watching even people that I know. I'm watching people that believe and dive into this rhetoric. Oh my gosh, like, this is madness. And you know what I mean. And then I start finding the girls that's following her that has straight up love, like they're grinding on Gojo and say that's my boyfriend, and they believe they're too cute to be with the average black man, the average nerdy black man, right? They deem him unworthy. So either you're a thug with muscles, a jock, or whatever, if you're a black man, to pass the bar. But if you're a nerd that like anime, like they want to find the guy who was a Chad, a Tyrone, or whatever, and break him into anime so he can so they can like break his anime virginity, whatever, right? Not the nerd that's in shape with muscles and stuff like that, right? They don't want to find the average guy, and these girls deem they're too beautiful, right? Unless there's somebody, as I say way back in the video, that's 150 pounds heavier than us, and I'm a big dude, right? So imagine 150 plus my size, right? That's crazy, right? And these are the girls that they say we have to choose from. And when we make an argument, they don't really want us, because girls who want you, you're gonna know. You don't have to fight to get them. You don't have to argue to get them. They're gonna open the door. And as a black man who's a nerd, who's a millennial, from my experiences, I have an easier time talking, or I was given an easier time from girls outside my race, whether it's Hispanic, Asian, white. They will be more susceptible to allow any form of interaction. Don't say that. I have plenty, and then I personally have plenty of good luck dating black women. I've dated very beautiful black women. Life goes on. But this experience did happen to me in high school. As a matter of fact, I keep saying that I've never dated in high school. It's only when I grow up and I have resources, when I have a couple of cars, a nice place, you know what I mean, when I get my stuff together, and then a lot of these girls are struggling that's coming to me. I'm like, nah, I can pick, choose, and refuse. As an adult, when they see that I'm actually progressing and successful, now I'm seeing black girls come to me. And in addition, to be fair, not of my age group. Because now, as a millennial man, with the new explosion of Gen Z girls that's black and into nerdy culture, they're now giving me that opportunity, those younger generations. But the problem is the millennial women are upset because they're upset with one, that these men that they pass up, that become past pro bros or whatever, is not just dating outside of their race, they're dating the Gen Zs. And they don't like a taste of their own medicine where they're last in the totem pole. Because now it's a rat race to find a man who they find respectable, because the guys that they go for in high school are now waste man. They're now sitting in the corner drunk. They didn't do anything with their life. You know what I mean? They're now in depression because they're now starting to start life at the end of it. It's okay, right? But why I bring up the butterfly effect is that it seems that they try to deny that it even existed. People try to gaslight us that it never existed, that we never had experience, and then use evidence of what is now to prove that what is then never existed in the first place. And it's crazy because these guys like Michael B. Jordan, now they're successful. Why would they want to give the girl that didn't truly love them a chance? You know what I mean? And I'll use Michael B. Jordan as a perfect example because he dated a Lori Harvey. You know what I mean? The Gen Z beautiful girl that want to give him a chance, a Lori Harvey, right? And a lot of like 40-year-old black women rather, like, you know what I mean? They were okay, he could set up for Lori Harvey, but we rather him date us before he date her. You understand? Well, not us, because I'm a man. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? They rather him try to give them a chance first, because they and the backlash for any kind of, you find plenty of them. The guy from like Maxwell or Chris Brown, or, well, you know, black women get Chris Brown a chance, or whatever his name, what's this guy's name who was in the movie, TV show Insecure, right? You see a lot of them out there that experience that experience, and they, you know. So this is an interesting video. You know, I would really like to deep dive in it, but I feel like if it get too long, then people won't really digest it. But I want any black male out there who like this video, like it, please, because this is our message, right? This is our experience, and without, what they say, without a test, there would be no testimony. This is our testimony. We've been through it. Rock.